Hey, this is Jordan. I'm doing my NFL spread predictions for this upcoming Sunday, week 13 of the NFL. So, um, the first game, I've already done the first three games on Thursday. I've already done a prediction for those, my last video. So, I'm going to start with the games on Sunday afternoon. So, Green Bay versus the New York Giants. Um, this is an interesting spread because it opened up at 7.5 and now it's at 6.5. The reason why this is interesting is I honestly think that the Packers are going to win by a touchdown, and so I think the spread right here is kind of perfect. It's really hard for me to go against it, but last week I went against the Packers. I took the San Francisco 49ers -3. That was an easy play. I also took the Giants +6 last week, and they did really well. They beat the spread. I think they won straight up. Um, I can't remember, but no, they played the Bears, but I took them +6, and I know they beat the spread. I remember that. So I kind of want to take the Giants +6.5. It's kind of tempting, but to me, there's something about the NFL where one week when a team when a team gets beat really badly, they want to bounce back the next week and they want you know what I mean, they don't want retribution necessarily because they're not facing the same team, but they want to bounce back. You know what I mean? They're pissed off at how bad they got beat and they want to bounce back. So I like the Packers at -6.5. I actually like them at -6.5. I think they're gonna win by 7 points. I just think they're going to bounce back from the way they played last week. Daniel Jones, I like the way he's been playing, but I really like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback. Daniel Jones, he's a young guy. I like the Packers here. Devontae Adams is finally, he was injured a few weeks ago and he's coming back from the injury. I think he hasn't been 100%, but I feel like he's 100% now. Same with Jimmy Graham. Same with yeah, I just really like the Packers here. I think they're going to bounce back from the way they played last week. Like I said, I went with the Giants last week and I went the 49ers last week, and both of them were spot on, but I'm going with the Packers -6.5. Yeah, so Packers -6.5. I was just looking at the score for last week. The Giants, they lost by 5 points, so they beat the +6 spread. It was 14-19 against the Bears. It was actually closer than I thought. I thought because I remember watching the beginning of the game and the Giants were winning straight up. So but yeah, the Bears ended up closing out that game. But yeah, like I said, Giants beat the spread. But Packers, yeah, I really, I mean, not only do I like Aaron Rodgers, but the fact that they're fighting for a playoff spot. You know what I mean? They are in a good position right now. They could get home field advantage in the playoffs, and that's what they want. They're in a tough division. You know what I mean? I mean that is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, the NFC North. Um, yeah, with the Packers, Lions, Bears, and Vikings. Um, all four of those teams are fantastic. I think the Packers are slightly better than the Vikings, but I don't know. I think the Vikings are going to go deeper in the playoffs just because I think they have a more complete team. But anyways, I'm taking Packers -6.5. Next game is Washington versus Carolina. I am taking Washington plus the 10. I took them last week +3.5. They won straight up. And Carolina, they played a lot better than I thought last week. I took the Saints, and the Panthers kept it very close, and they beat the spread. Um, I was really surprised how well they played. One thing I heard someone talking about was how, oh, Ron Rivera and the coach of Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints. Um, these guys have played each other a million times, so they kind of know each other's tendencies. And that's why they're able to keep those games close because they're game division games that they've played so many times against each other. Because Ron Rivera and Sean Payton have been the coaches of the Panthers and Saints for a long time, so I understand why they kept it close. But Washington doesn't play. Carolina that often, and I don't think Washington's great, but I they did play pretty well last week, and I'm gonna take them again. I think Dwayne Haskins keeps getting better and better each week, and I just yeah I really like him plus 10. I think that's a pretty large spread, so I'm gonna take the Redskins plus the 10. The 49ers are playing Baltimore. This game opened up at 4.5. Now it's at 6. I actually kind of like, even though I've taken Baltimore the past like 2 or 3 weeks, and they've obviously come through. They've been annihilating their opponents. I'm taking San Francisco plus 6. I think not a lot of people are talking about this right now, but what happened with the Ravens last week is even though they played really well, and I took them against the spread, -3 against the Rams, they lost their starting center for the entire season, Matt Skura. So the problem with this is that San Francisco has a really really good pass rush. So I really think that they're going to take advantage of Baltimore missing their center. They're playing Patrick McCarry right now, who is a rookie free agent who played really well. He filled in for Skura and he didn't miss a beat. He played really well. So it's hard for me to go like judge him, you know what I mean, saying he's not going to be as good because he actually played just as well. But he's still a rookie free agent. I just think that San Francisco. I mean, he had a good game, but I think the rest of the offensive line was kind of supporting him. I think that San Francisco. I think they're going to keep it close finally. So some team is going to keep it close, but I think they're going to keep it close. I think Baltimore is going to win by 3. I like San Francisco plus 6 just because I think the teams are equally good. I think Baltimore is clearly the best team in the NFL. Um, and I live right near Baltimore. I think I'm a diehard Baltimore Ravens fan. It's hard for me to go against Baltimore. They're my favorite team of all time of any sport. I bleed purple, and I want them to win this game desperately. This is the biggest test of the year. But I have to take San Francisco plus 6. As a Ravens fan, I'm still taking San Francisco plus 6. I've taken the Ravens the past couple weeks, and they've done well. But that's just this team is better than the other teams. The teams that the Ravens have played against, the Patriots and the Seahawks, and the Rams, like these teams are good. But I just think that San Francisco plus 6 is a large spread, and I understand why people are taking the Ravens, but that is just too big of a spread to take against a team like San Francisco that's so good right now. And George Kittle is finally back from that injury. I mean, that guy's like the best tight end in the NFL. So yeah, I mean, hard for me to go against San Francisco on such a large spread. I think plus 6 is huge for teams that are pretty equal. I was surprised the Rams were only plus 3. Rams have been an awful team this season. I mean, they've been god awful. So it was easy for me to take the Ravens against the Rams. The Rams' offense hasn't been good at all. And the Ravens' offense is putting up over 40 points every game. So I didn't understand that. I saw a lot of people taking the Rams plus 3. I heard a lot of commentators talking about Rams plus 3 is a good bet. Ravens -3 was easy. They won by 40 points or 39. Yeah. So, but I'm taking San Francisco plus 6. I think the San Francisco 49ers are a much better team than the Rams. Yeah. Anyways, Tennessee versus Indianapolis. I like Indianapolis. I think Jacoby Brissett's been playing a lot better since he came back from the injury. Like you're gonna be rusty when you're injured and you're coming back. But I like Jacoby Brissett. I took Tennessee against the spread last week, and they did really well. I don't remember what the spread was, but I think it was like -4 or something like that. I don't remember something. Anyways, they won by 22 points. They annihilated the Jaguars. Yeah, I don't trust the Jaguars at all. So and it's very interesting because the Jaguars amazingly opened up. I don't know who was creating this spread, but they opened up at 4.5 point favorites over Tampa Bay. I'll get to that game in a second. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I don't know who the hell opened up Jacksonville as a -4.5 favorite. That's like I don't know if there's a conspiracy there or something. That doesn't make sense at all. They've been awful. And I took Tampa Bay last week and they won as an underdog. I don't know. But anyways, I'm taking this one. This game is tough for me. This is a tough one, but I have to take. I actually have to take Indianapolis minus 2.5. I think they're gonna win this game by field goal. I haven't taken Indianapolis a lot this season. I remember the last time I took them was against the Steelers, and I was surprised they lost. But I think that Indianapolis, Jacoby Brissett's finally not rusty anymore. He came back a couple weeks ago. I think he's going to be like 100%. I like Ryan Tannehill. I like what he's done on the Titans, but I think that Indianapolis, they are the better. Well, they have. I think they have a more complete team. I think the problem with Tennessee is, I mean, they have a good defense, and their offense has been putting up points. So it's hard for me to not say they're a complete team. But Tennessee's receiving core is not very good. And Indianapolis, T.Y. Hilton is also finally back from his injury. So they're healthy now. I like Indianapolis. I'm going to take them minus 2.5. I think that at home, this is a must win. They're still fighting for a playoff spot. And so is Tennessee. I think Tennessee's 6-5 right now, but yeah, I like Indianapolis. I think they're going to do it. I'm not sure if they're coming off a bye. Yeah, so I just checked. They are coming off a bye week, so they're going to be well rested, and well prepared, and very healthy. I like Indianapolis minus 2.5. Definitely like that. Next one is Miami versus Philadelphia. I actually am going to take Miami plus 10. I've been taking Miami a lot this season against these large spreads, and they've been doing it most of the time. Didn't do it last week against the Browns. They lost by, I think, 14 points or something like that. And I took them plus 10.5. So it's hard for me to take my. I mean, the thing is, they actually have been trying to win games. They're not tanking on purpose. They actually are trying to win games. So I am going to take Miami plus 10. I don't like Philadelphia. I don't like the way they've been playing on offense. Even though I like Carson Wentz, I just think he's regressed for some reason. Don't know why. Nelson Aguilar has lost his chemistry. I don't know how you lose chemistry and you regress as a quarterback. And you, I don't, it's bizarre to me how that happens. How you have it and then you don't. I don't know. But anyways, I'm taking Miami plus 10. I like Miami plus the 10. I think they're going to keep it within a touchdown. I think Philadelphia win by 7. So Miami plus 10. Next game is Oakland versus Kansas City. This is another 10-point spread, and I have to take Oakland plus 10. I really, really think these spreads are too large. I mean, I understand Miami, but Oakland, all right, Oakland lost last week. I took the Jets. So I knew, I mean, I wasn't so sure with the Jets, but I took them because I don't like Oakland very much. I think they're overrated. And they got annihilated more than I even thought they would. They really got destroyed. Um, but yeah, I took the Jets last week. But I really like Oakland only because they're plus 10. I think they're gonna bounce back. It's another thing where it's like teams want to bounce back from playing bad. Green Bay's gonna bounce back, and I think Oakland's gonna bounce back. So I'm gonna take Oakland plus 10. I think this is too large of a spread. I just think it's too big. Even though Kansas City is coming off a bye week, I believe. Yeah, because last game they played was the Chargers. That was like 2 weeks. I think yeah. So I like that. But I still think Oakland. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. If I was gonna bet on the over, like over 51, that's the over under right now. I would definitely take over 51. But we're doing spreads, so I would take Oakland plus 10. And then the next game was a game I was just talking about earlier. Tampa Bay versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville opened up at minus 4.5. Now Tampa Bay is a minus 1. I'm taking Tampa Bay minus the 1. I don't. I wish I'd taken them plus 4.5 or as a money line. That would be great. Maybe they'd be like plus 150 or plus maybe even like 170. I don't even know. That would have been a great money line playing in Tampa Bay. But anyway, so they're minus 1 right now. I'll take the minus 1 or on the money line. But yeah, spread prediction. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 1. That's an easy play for me. I took them last week. And I went against Jacksonville last week. Both those plays turned out. Colts won. And, or who was it? Yeah, I think it was. And then Tampa Bay, they won. So Yeah, I'm sorry. It was the Titans. Titans destroyed the Jaguars, not the Colts. But yeah, Titans destroyed the Jaguars last week, and then I took the Bucks last week, and they destroyed the Falcons. So, but yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been insanely disappointing. Nick Foles has been okay, but I don't know. I don't really like the way Jacksonville's been playing. It's hard for me to take them. I haven't taken them in a while, and I'm not taking them this week. I think Jameis Winston isn't. He's a flippy flop kind of quarterback, but I just like the way he's been playing lately. He's been kind of consistent, like consistently good for the past few weeks. Maybe like four, maybe like even 5 weeks has been good. So I'm taking Tampa Bay -1. I really, yeah. I mean, I like the way they played against the Falcons last week. That was good. So Tampa Bay -1. The Jets versus Cincinnati. I'm gonna take Jets. I'm gonna take the -3 against Cincinnati. I like them. I took them last week and they played great. Sam Darnold, the whole offense: Le'Veon Bell, Jamison Crowder, Demarius Thomas. Is I think Robbie Anderson's healthy. Um, Everyone's been playing well. Yeah, so Robbie Anderson, I was just looking at his stats. He had a good game last week. 4 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, the whole offense has been playing well. I know Demarius Thomas was injured for a little bit. He's coming back from the injury. I just like the way the whole offense is playing. They played great against the Raiders. I was really surprised how well the defense played, especially missing one of their key guys, C.J. Mosley. The defense played well. So I'm going to take the Jets -3 against a very bad Cincinnati team. Yeah, I have to take Jets -3. That's an easy decision. Rams versus Arizona. The Rams games. The Rams have been an awful team, and I think they're better than Arizona. But I just have to take. I have to take Arizona +3. I mean, Kyler Murray has been getting better and better every week, and I just think that Arizona, they have a good positive. Even though they're not that good of a team, and they're not going to be a Super Bowl champion this year or anything like that, they have a positive energy in their locker room. They have a good locker room. They are a good organization right now, and I like the way Colin Murray's been playing. He's been surprisingly good. So I am gonna take. I'm gonna have to take them +3. Arizona +3. I just think. I'm not sure. I just don't trust the Rams. I mean, I really hate the way they've been playing. So I think I have to, especially yeah, Arizona's at home. I think I have to take them +3. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I like the way they've been playing compared to the Rams. The Rams have been awful. You know, they're supposed to have a good defense. Jalen Ramsey, best corner. Aaron Donald, best pass rusher. Uh, Ravens scored 45 points on them. 45 points. That's ridiculous. So it's like, no, they don't have that good of a defense. I just don't trust them. So Arizona +3. The next game is the Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. Um, hmm. This is a tough game for me because apparently the Chargers opened up as a underdog, and now they are a. Some places they're -2.5, and some places they're -3. So my thing here is that I think that the Chargers are going to win this game, but it's tough because there are a lot of places that it's -3, but the money line. I'm sorry, not the money line. The juice is an even juice on the -3 spread for the Chargers. But when you can get, if there's a lot of places you can get at -2.5, and at -2.5, the juice is a -120 on the juice for the spread. So what I would do here is I would take the Chargers -2.5 on a -120 juice. That's the play. Chargers -2.5. There are multiple places where it's still -2.5. I think people are gonna bet on Denver +3. I think it might move. between now, which is Wednesday, and Sunday. So I'm gonna take the yeah, I'm definitely gonna take the Chargers minus 2.5. So that's the play there. Next one is Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh opened up as a -3 favorite, and now they're +2 as an underdog. This is weird because I don't know why Pittsburgh opened up as a favorite, but I'm taking Cleveland -2. I mean I like the way Cleveland's been playing. They have a better energy in their locker room now that they've been winning. They've won their last two games against the Bills and the Dolphins. Oh, great, yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, the Bills was a big deal, kind of, because it was a close one. They needed it. It really improved their whole energy. Once they beat the Bills, and then they did well against the Dolphins. Who cares? Um, but I like them -2. I think that they are a solid team. I mean, they're obviously good on paper, but Freddie Kitchens is an awful coach. But I mean, Pittsburgh they barely beat the Bengals last week, and I know it's a division rival game, but still, and same with this. I mean, both it's another division game, but I really think that Pittsburgh the way they played against the Bengals was terrible. They could have easily lost that game. So I don't like Pittsburgh right now. I took them -6.5, and they lost and they won by 6. That was the worst loss last week for me. I was in between. I was like, should I take Bengals +6.5 or Chargers -6.5? And I'm sorry, I'm Chargers. Steelers -6.5, and the Steelers yeah, they won by 6. They totally screwed me. So I don't want to take Steelers right here. I understand. I understand if someone wants to take Pittsburgh plus the 3 because it's moved. I'm sorry, +2 because it's moved from -3 to for Pittsburgh to -2 for Cleveland. If someone wants to take +2 on the Pittsburgh side or the money line, I can understand that. I just really think Cleveland. I've been I've always liked Baker Mayfield, and Cleveland screwed me a lot of times this year, but they're just looking better. They just look better. So I'm gonna take Cleveland -2. New England versus Houston. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm taking New England -3. Houston's been a bad team, and I think if you want to take, even though New England's been a low scoring team, if you want to take over 45, which is the over under, that would be a good play. I think over 45 would make sense. Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady. But I would take New England -3. I think that is the best bet. That is definitely the best bet. I think, yeah, New England should win this game by a touchdown. So I'm gonna say New England -3. There's not much to say. I mean, I know their offense has been bad, but to me, most of it has to do with weather. 2 weeks ago against the Eagles, bad weather. Last week, bad weather. So the weather's been affecting them. They're playing in Houston, which I believe is a dome, no weather, and also Texas is pretty, pretty. I mean, it depends, but it's in a dome, so who cares? Yeah. So, I mean, there's gonna be no weather problems. I think it's gonna be a higher scoring game. I would take the over, but I would also take New England -3. Um, Minnesota versus Seattle. I love Seattle. I think Seattle's been really, really good. But I think I have to take Minnesota +3. I just think these teams are equally good. I don't think one team is better than the other. I think they're both equally good. So if you want to take Minnesota on the money line, there could be some value there. Maybe +150 or even +130 would be good. But I would take Minnesota +3. Um, yeah, I don't know what the money line is. Even if it's like +120, I think it'd still be good. But yeah, Minnesota +3 is a nice little spread right there. I think. I mean, I understand why it's like that. I think Seattle could win by a field goal. That could definitely be a plausible score. 24-21, or I don't know, 27-24, whatever. But I would take Minnesota +3 just because I think the teams are equal. So you might as well take the underdog. Even though Seattle is at home, and that is a good home field advantage in Seattle because it's loud and they have good fans. Um, ah, I think that is the Monday night game, so that is the end of my spread predictions. It's very interesting because they're showing the Thursday night game for next week, December 5th, and it says Dallas versus Chicago, and the spread is -3 in some places, and in other places it's -3.5. Uh, if I was you, I'd take Dallas right here at -3 or -3.5. I think the spread is going to jump up to at least a -5 or -6 in favor of Dallas. So you might as well take Dallas -3. That's crazy. But more places it's -3.5. But the juice is an even minus or +100, -100 +100. But yeah, it's an even juice. So value there. If you want to take that. But yeah, Dallas -3 though. If you can get a -3, I mean Chicago's terrible. Unless they have an awesome game. Like I'm taking Chicago against Detroit this coming tomorrow, but that Dallas versus Chicago, I would definitely take Dallas any day. Anyways, so that'll be the end of my spread predictions. I'll do another video for Thursday night's game next week, and I'll do more videos for next week. Baltimore's playing Buffalo. Yeah, there's some interesting games. Definitely gonna take Baltimore though. Buffalo is not a high scoring offense right now. Baltimore's favored by 6.5. I take Baltimore 6.5. I mean, I don't know. A lot of places it's not available to bet on, but if you can take Baltimore -6.5, yeah, I mean, I think money's going to immediately come in on Baltimore. They'll easily be a -8 by the time in a couple days after that. People start betting on the spreads. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video there. So hopefully I get my Thanksgiving predictions right, and then hopefully I get most of these spread predictions right. I'll do another video for the over unders on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, so that's the end of the